Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. And coming up today, we do have a whole range of news topics when it comes to Barca. One of those include our potential new shirt sponsor, which may just be about to break all kinds of records. We're also going to be talking about Ansu Fati's injury situation and the big decision that has arrived to not have surgery. When can we expect him back now? We're also going to be talking transfers with the latest on Barca's pursuit of Alvaro Morata. But is that a deal that Barca should be pushing for in these final days of the transfer window? It is all coming up. Full discussion. So let's get to it. But if we first of all start with a very important message, and that message is a very happy birthday to our coach, to our leader, and to our legend of the club. Xavi Hernandez turns 42 today, so I hope he's having an absolutely fantastic day and ultimately enjoying some relaxation in this period here without any matches. But the big news on that is that yesterday, on Monday night, he was actually out on the town. He was in the city there of Barcelona. He actually went out with his wife for a meal, probably on the eve there of the big day itself. And just have a look at this. Just look at who happened to be in the same restaurant at the same time as Xavi. It was Lionel Messi, who is, of course, back in the city of Barcelona. He's not going away, this time on international duty with Argentina. He's back in Barcelona, and it is widely believed that yesterday he did sit down for some dinner with Xavi. Sergio Busquets was also there, and Jordi Alba also reportedly on the scene as well. And I just thought that yesterday it was honestly quite nice just to see some photos of Messi there back in the city, together of course with some of his old teammates, and much more than that, but actually some friends there whom he spent so many years alongside. And it was reported then later on in the evening by the journalist Ashraf Benayad, who's very close to Xavi, that Messi's relationship with Xavi has actually remained so strong over many years now. And he did say that Messi was actually one of the very first people to congratulate Xavi when he was appointed as the new Barca coach back in November, with it also being said there by the journalist that Messi still has an incredible fondness for the city of Barcelona, and he does actually return at every available opportunity from Paris. And as Leo has said many times before, and he's going to say it many times again, Barcelona is very much still the city of his life and the city he calls home. But, as I did allude to there in the intro, there is potentially some huge news brewing when it comes to Barca's new shirt sponsor, because as we know, at the end of the current season, our contract there with our main sponsor of the shirt, Rakuten, will come to an end, and therefore we will need to bring in and agree a new sponsor for the shirt. And it's also interesting because our contract also with Beko expires at the end of the season, because their name, of course, appears all across the training gear. So we are on the lookout right now. We have been in the market for quite some time trying to get the best possible offer, and we have heard plenty of companies linked over the past few weeks. A number of cryptocurrency companies, you've heard about Vegan Nation, Polkadot as well, have been linked, but most importantly there, and what's said to be right now the leading candidate to become our new sponsor, it is indeed Spotify, with it being reported that talks between them and the club have been going very well indeed, and this, if it happens, could be a huge deal, because right now our agreement with Rakuten is said to be worth around 55 million euros per year. But if we do indeed get this new deal over the line, it is being widely reported now that our next shirt sponsor could bring in at least 80 million per year, with the possibility there of that going even higher, maybe even reaching 100 million per year if you factor in multiple sponsors there. I'm talking about the sleeve sponsor, I'm talking about training gear as well. So this truly could be a massive deal, which would not only be, of course, a massive financial boost to Barca ahead of the summer transfer window. That would be such an exciting piece of news, but I think also not only that, but it would be a real statement that once again, despite what the media may tell you about Barcelona, despite the situation that we may be going through right now, Barca are still comfortably one of the biggest clubs in the world. We will always attract these kind of deals, and judging by this potentially record deal that could become the biggest in football, many could argue, commercially, we're right up there. But if we do indeed move back to matters on the pitch right now, and of course we do have to talk about Ansu Fati's very delicate situation, because obviously over the past few days he has been faced with the prospect of undergoing yet more surgery as he suffered a relapse of his previous hamstring injury against Athletic Club last week. Now Ansu has been advised by the club and also the club's medical staff, which now include Dr. Ricard Pruner, to undergo surgery. They wanted him there to undergo that surgery, a procedure there that would have ended Ansu Fati's season. He wouldn't have played again, but they believe that come the new season, come the start of next season, he would have been fit, ready to go, and with a much greater chance of that hamstring problem not occurring again. However, after considerable thought over the weekend there with his family, there has been a lot of conversation happening and a lot of thinking being done, and I really do feel for Ansu during this time because there's a lot going on in his life right now and it cannot be easy. There was also a meeting on Monday with up to 15 different people in that meeting, all discussing what that next step should be for Ansu, but this morning it was officially confirmed by the club that Ansu Fati has decided not to undergo surgery, and he has instead chosen to follow a conservative recovery plan in what seems there like one last effort to heal that problem naturally, and he's hoping to avoid any further relapses. And I think right now, guys, what is very important to understand is sort of the psychology and the way that Ansu is feeling mentally right now. Because yes, you can understand, what the club are trying to say. They want to go the safest route. They want to try and advise Ansu the route there with what they feel has the least complications. But you could also, I think you have to understand how Ansu is feeling right now. You've got to remember what happened the last time that he went under the knife. His last surgery apparently basically traumatized him because he actually went there through surgery for that meniscus problem on his knee, but as we know, there was complications with that. And as a result of those problems, he ended up needing 3 different surgeries on that knee, and you can understand why you're going to be scarred from that. And not only that, but you're going to lose a bit of trust in the Barca medical team and what they think you should do, even if, of course, we are now seeing some much needed changes on that side. But Ansu has decided to go his own route. He is going to work very closely with his own medical team, his own recovery team. He's going to recover in Madrid, and it is believed now that his recovery is going to take between 7 and 10 weeks. He will return this season. He will be back. But let's just hope that when he does, he can avoid any relapse, any further problem. And I pray that it works out for him. I really, really do. Because this young man has already been through enough. But indeed, guys, thinking about that Ansu Fati injury and more time on the sidelines for him, Barca right now are very keen to go into this transfer window and sign another forward. And once again, Alvaro Morata's name has appeared in the media, with both the club and indeed Xavi very keen to bring him in and bolster our centre-forward options. Now, Morata, right the way through January, has always been said to be really, really keen to join up with Barca. He would love to make this move happen, but until now, Juve have been very reluctant to let Morata leave without bringing in a like-for-like replacement first. However, all of that is about to change because Juve this morning have agreed a 75 million fee with Fiorentina to sign informed striker Dusan Vlahovic, who's actually someone who's been repeatedly linked with Barca in the past, but Juve believe that Vlahovic is on his way to Turin, and if that deal does indeed go through as they expect, they will allow Morata to join Barca. But what I do have to say on this potential deal, guys, is honestly, all the way through January, I felt the same way about this. I'm just really not sure he's actually what we need. Because I know that we're desperate to strengthen up front, and I know that we need goals, we need players to come in who can try and help us secure Champions League football. But is Morata the man for that job? You look at his stats throughout this season, he's not really been on fire in front of goal, he's not really been electrifying there as a centre-forward, and I just think right throughout his career, actually, when you actually sit back, you look at the numbers, you look at his goal per game record, and I just think right now, he's 29 years old. Yes, he does make some intelligent runs, I think he understands the game very, very well. He's played in some magnificent teams over the course of his career. Quite clearly, there's talent there. But I just think when it comes to finishing, when it comes to being a centre-forward, putting away the goals, actually finding that finishing touch, is he really what we need. Because when I think of Morata, I think about the misses. I think about the fact there that quite often or not, in a big moment, he has a chance there, it's there for the taking, and he isn't able to take it. And you can see that right the way through his career. That is why he's basically a 1 in 3 striker. So the only way really that I could even come close to understanding this deal is if it was solely short term. If it was a deal there that we completed until the end of the season only, this should not be a permanent deal. We should not be going out and spending big money to bring Morata in. If you want to bring him in for 6 months to help us with that top 4 push, to give us a few goals here and there, then maybe. But I just think anything longer than that, anything more permanent than that, and I would have real trouble understanding it. But I'm not even sure that it's going to be a straightforward deal, because let's not forget here that although Morata is at Juventus, he is a Juventus player right now, he's actually on loan there from Atletico Madrid. And I've got no doubts at all that Atleti, they're not going to make this easy for us. They're not going to make an agreement very simple. They will not want to do us any favours whatsoever, given that right now we are battling them to get into the Champions League for next season. So this is a deal here that still has a lot of things that need sorting out. Also, of course, you think about the wage bill at Barcelona. Would you even be able to fit Morata into that right now without further exits? There's a lot still to consider. And like I say on this one, I am honestly not convinced. But of course, guys, what I would really like to know is, firstly, how would you feel about Morata? What would you think there if Barca were to bring him in maybe until the end of the season? How would you feel about a short-term deal? But if it was longer than that, what would your inclination be there towards the signing of Morata for Barca? And of course, bringing in a player who is ex-Real Madrid. Not only that, but ex-Atleti too. Certainly, he has La Liga experience, but maybe just for the wrong clubs. Please do let me know all of those thoughts in the comments down below, along there with your reaction to Ansu not undergoing surgery on that hamstring issue, Messi returning to Barcelona, the city that is, and our potential record-breaking sponsorship deal. Let me know those thoughts down below. I will, of course, see you soon and keep you updated with all the latest news. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca! El Barça!